And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday's Cheltenham Preview for the Daily Punt with myself, Dave Massey, at 9:12 a.m. Sunday morning. I was going to record this yesterday. I'd sort of said on Friday that I was going to record this. That's better. I was going to record it yesterday lunchtime, but with the rain not really having come then, it was a little bit difficult. You knew it was coming, but all the same you wanted to make sure that it was coming before you started getting stuck into Sunday. So I thought I'd leave it, see what comes in the night. They've had another 7 mil on top of what they had yesterday. They're calling it soft heavy in places. It's going to be heavy, isn't it? We know that. Good card, 6 races. I'll be looking at the first 5 as over the bumper. At the end of the card has no interest to me from a betting perspective. First race is the Novices Chase, 3 mile Novices Chase, where we get to see the big breakaway, who was 4th to Envoy Allen in the Ballymore last year and has always looked like a chaser, hasn't he, the big breakaway. I've got no doubt that he'll probably make the grade. The question is whether you want to take odds on about him. The form of the Tizard Yard is still a little bit in and out. He's having winners, and there's no doubt that it's getting better. And the big breakaway might just be the best of these and might be too good for him anyway. But I'm not sure I want to be taking 8 to 11 about a yard that's just a little bit hit or miss at the moment, should we say. And he might need the run, the big breakaway. He is a big horse, he might need it. But then you start looking at the rest of them. Soldier of Love, surely, under the penalties and heavy ground, has got it all to do. I don't like him particularly much today. The Butcher said will handle the ground. He was second to Ramsey to Tay over hurdles on heavy ground, but his better efforts have come on good to soft and good, which leaves you with Wolf of Windlesham, and Doc Penfro. And Wolf of Windlesham, long time readers of the Daily Punt will know, literally after Wolf of Windlesham's first run, I was sort of a horse. He was very much a horse to follow. I was really worried when he came back at Cheltenham, because he's not the biggest horse, shall we say, for chasing. He's not unathletic, but equally you wouldn't call him your archetypal chasing type. But you know what? I mean, Cheltenham, first time up after an absence, and he absolutely winged those fences. And Cheltenham is a hard track to jump round for a novice. If you're jumping around there and jumping well, you'll jump anywhere, I think. Ground, ideally I'd have liked it a little bit quicker. He will handle soft heavy. He has done before. I think it was certainly soft when he came down 2 out in the Great Wood here about 3 years ago now, would it be? 4 years ago? 4 years ago, yeah, good groove. How time flies. But the fact is they've been very patient with him. I could see him outrunning his odds with Wolf of Windlesham. Maybe he's going to be the danger to the big breakaway. And Doc Penfro, similarly, he'll love heavy ground. He absolutely wants soft heavy. And he is built to be a chaser. His handicap efforts at the end of last season, both at Bangor and then second to Silver Sheen at Warwick in the Pertemps qualifier, both marked him out as a horse that was improving. Maybe he'll need the run as well, I think. So I think if there is a bet in the race, it might be a very small win bet on Wolf of Windlesham. I'll decide that nearer the time. And then we come to the first of 2 last man standing contests today. The other one is at the other one's at Fontwell, and I might touch on that actually. This one, 3 mile, 3.5 handicap chase in what's going to be heavy ground. Yalarenki will stay all day. The problem I've got with Yalarenki, he's had 3 goes at Cheltenham, and none of them have been anywhere near his best form. So I think Yalarenki's vulnerable. Discorama was 3rd to the conditional here in the Ultima. Whether he wants the extra couple of furlongs on top, again, I don't know. It's all very well staying 3 mile and 3 mile 1. This is 3 miles, 3.5, with that hill. Not sure. Ramsey's the Tay we do know, but David Pipes have had a pretty lousy weekend, to be perfectly honest. They're not one. Even the fancied ones haven't run particularly well. So I can leave Ramsey's the Tay alone. West Approach is the West Approach is the West Approach. He's always beatable. He handles most ground, but he's always going off. Probably a point or two too short, and he's always beatable. I've ended up Cloth Cap as well, similarly to Cloth Cap, who's in time I think going to be probably come the end of the season. I think he'll have achieved the most of these, but that's for another day. He definitely wants good ground. I don't think he wants soft ground. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a non-runner by the time it comes around. I've had a little bit on Big River on the exchange last night at 13, in the hope that he is ready to go, because he will stay and he will want heavy ground, and his Cheltenham efforts have been pretty good. If you go back to 2019 Ultima, when that 2019 Ultima is quite a remarkable run, because he's basically tailed off with 3 to run. He's got no chance whatsoever, and then up the hill he's just passing horses for fun, and he was clattering fences all the way around. Since they equipped him with cheek pieces last year, his jumping's got a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. It's much, that helps no end. I thought we were going to hit the jackpot again in the Ultima this year. I think you'll remember I stuck him up each way, and we got 5th, which qualified for the extra places. So that was quite nice at a big price. He's the most likely of these to stay in the ground, I think, and we know he acts at Cheltenham. It's a question of whether he's fit after the absence. He has won after absences before. Equally, he's thrown some stinkers in after absences before. So it's like that. I don't suppose they'd be bringing him down here though. If they didn't fancy him, he could have had a run around up north somewhere. I like his chance. I think he's a small win bet for me. I think Big River. 225 to Slur, Forest B and Rouge Vif out. I'm not surprised Rouge Vif's out. That was never going to be handling the ground. I don't want to have a bet. It's just a race to watch. I think we'll learn a lot from it. We'll learn whether Riders on the Storm is capable at dropping back to 2 mile. He's the one, essentially, to me, that's got that extra bit of stamina. I know Deffy de Soy stays 2.5 as well, but 2's really, I think, Deffy's key trip, and Deffy needs to bounce back off of a bad one at the festival now. Really below par effort that day. Put the kettle on, gets the weight again. Handles soft. Will she want really heavy? Not sure. Just a race to watch for me. I say there's ifs and buts there, and the market's about right. The Great Wood, I've come to the same conclusion as just about everybody else. I had on a couple of days ago. I've got bits and pieces on Ballyandy at 13 and 14 on Betfair. And I've had a little bit each way again at 9s last night, 6 places, which looks, I can't see that out of the 6, can you really? Ballyandy, he's just rock solid. And that was pretty much a career best at Foslas last time on the figures. Really good speed figure. I know Foslas speed figures don't, I was mentioning this with Rory, Foslas speed figures are a weird thing. They don't translate anywhere else other than Foslas. But it's not that on its own, it's the body of his form backs that up anyway, so it doesn't matter too much whether the speed figure was good or not. But basically he's just extremely solid in soft heavy ground, and he doesn't race in handicaps much these days. He tends to be in group company, in graded company. I think he can give the weight to most of these, to be honest. He hasn't got to give that much weight to horses that are genuine sort of handicappers really, and claims in nothing more than that. Edward Stone's obviously interesting because he will handle the ground and he's got improvement to come this season. But other than that, I really was genuinely struggling to find a lot. Countista might have been worth mentioning, but that was a lousy effort. On saying that, I mean, very, very weak in the market that day, Countista. He was putting, I think, the early shows on him when the race was declared 48 hours before. Countista was putting around about a 92 chance, 5 to 1, and he's gone off 7.5 and bigger than that on the exchanges. So he was very weak. It was almost as if they knew he needed the run. Handicappers dropped him 5 for that. Makes him look very well handicapped now. He's £3 below his county hurdle mark now, here from 2019. He's tempting. but I would have liked to have seen a better effort, I think, last time, all the same. And then the Sky Bet Novices Trial, where the best horse in the race on the figures is For Pleasure. I just, the summer jumper For Pleasure. Scooted around Stratford a couple of times and banger, and then got thumped at Kempton when he didn't handle the track. Yes, he goes back left-handed, but the ground's a massive worry for me for For Pleasure. I can't see him winning. Third time lucky is going to be favourite here, and probably rightly so. He won't mind the ground. He looks a quality act. He was fourth in the bumper, champion bumper last year. Form from that's all working out perfectly well at the moment. He's going to take some beating, I think. Third time lucky. I know, I say the figures will tell you he's got a bit to find here, but I think he'll find it, because effectively the likes of Court and Bold and For Pleasure are just they've been on the go through the summer, and I think they're going to get found out on this winter ground, what will be proper winter ground today. So again, not a betting race. I just think third time lucky will probably be the winner. I'll touch on that Fontwell Southern National, which I think is at 3:15. Again, this will be just shy of 3 mile 4. This is, I mean, they're going to be inspecting at Fontwell at 11. That tells you how near they are to calling it off. They're calling it raceable at the moment, but there's more rain this morning and it's going to be touch and go. If this ends up a last man standing contest, I'd have a second look at Morny Wing, who has fallen an awfully long way in the handicap pretty quickly, to be honest. Has been tried in better races than this, I think, over the past sort of 18 months. They have been quite a tough contest, tough veterans races, that sort of thing. This is easier. This is not that difficult a contest to win. And basically what Morny Wing wants is an out and out stamina test where it's nearly unraceable, I think, these days. And he'll get that here, Morny Wing. And the fact that they're going to miss the top of the fence at the top of the hill out every time will help, because that's jumping's not his key point. He's not his key attribute, Morny Wing. It's staying that's his key attribute. So if he's got to jump that one fence less every time around, that's only going to help him. He'd be minimum stake stuff, because he might just be gone at the game, and if he falls out the back of the telly at halfway, no one's surprised. But a marker 118 and Rex Dingle taking another 3 off, when you look at what he was doing a couple of years ago, it looks very, very low. I could be tempted with him if it goes ahead. I say, and you'd be wanting a decent double figure price, but minimum stake stuff, he could go all right for your money. There we go then. Best of luck. It's mainly a day, I think, for watching today rather than getting stuck in on. Yesterday was okay. Shea Maso didn't get 6th rather than 7th in the Paddy Power, but and Gumball as well coming down didn't help my bank balance any. I think Gumball probably just about had it won when he took that awful fall 2 out. It was pleasing to see him get up anyway. If nothing else, it was good to see both horse and jockey up. But he jumped really well up to that point. It was a great shame. I think there's more to come from Gumball this year. He is learning. It's just that fence, it's a tricky fence, that, and hopefully he'll learn from it. So there we go. As I say, best of luck with all your bets today, guys. I'll try and do some more of these videos now. Now I'm sort of getting back more into a routine. Try and do one every weekend if we can. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.